of Desert Orchid for the 36th running of the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. A huge crowd, including Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, who earlier this afternoon opened the £9 million Berkshire stand and is enjoying the afternoon's racing. An afternoon which will see the big race delayed, the start of the big race delayed, because the stewards are still inquiring into the outcome of the long distance race. Richard Dunwoody, the rider of Tyrone Bridge, involved in that inquiry. But the Queen Mother, whose best placing in this race was Rip's third to Arkle back in 1964. There was Mrs. Priscilla Hastings enjoying the afternoon, and Lord Carnarvon, and enjoying a fascinating race for a first prize of over £36,000. 13 in all, named by Peter O'Sullivan.
And number 1 is the French Challenger, the Fellow, ridden by Adam Conrad. 2 is Twin Oaks, Neil Doughty. 3, Chatham, Peter Scudamore. 4, Party Politics, Declan Murphy. 5, Sparkling Flame, John White. 6, Captain Dibble, Carl Llewellyn. 7, Jodami, Mark Dwyer. 8, the Challenger from Ireland, Bishop's Hall, ridden by Norman Williamson. 9, Gambling Royal, Richard Dunwoody. 10, Rowlandson's Jewels, Dean Gallagher. 11, Latent Talent, Jamie Osborne. 12, Mr. Boston, Stuart Turner. And 13, Sibton Abbey, ridden by Adrian Maguire. Those are the 13 runners on which they bet at the moment as follows.
And Mark Dwyer's Mount Jodami, not exactly an unexpected favourite, it's 4-1, but close up is Chatham, 9-2. Captain Dibble, also 9-2. The Fellow and Gambling Royal, 6-1. 10-1, Twin Oaks. Party Politics and Latent Talent, 12-1. And drifting quite considerably, Bishop's Hall has gone from 16s to 20-1, 50-1 bar.
Although we haven't heard the result of the inquiry, Richard Dunwoody has just come out of the steward's room now, there in Graham Roach's colours, Gambling Royale, horse that's done particularly well and does have a chance here. So we'll keep you posted as and when we know. Oh, Chatham, a horse that is certainly a live contender here because he loves Newbury, and that is a big plus in any horse's makeup. Chatham, owned by Adrian Nolan, trained by Martin Pipe, Skew on board, and Skew desperate to get back at Richard Dunwoody. Well, he's having his first outing of the season, but he didn't need an outing last year. Let's reflect on that, and you can see Chatham with Party Politics, his nearest pursuer, as they come to the last here. Chatham had been cantering all the way through, held up as he normally is. He went there cantering, Skew just trying to get him right, and he goes across left-handed. Party Politics wasn't particularly clean at it. And back in third place, Little Docklands Express, who had a tremendous year. But Skew just hands and heels, although Party Politics, the giant of a horse, who went on to victory over the big fences at Aintree, couldn't answer him back, although he plugged on well. But that was a very good win, although the horse has naturally gone up in the weight since. But Julian Wilson spoke to Peter Scudamore, his rider, shortly.
Skew, Chatham hasn't run for 11 months, and he's only run, in fact, twice in the last 18 months. Is he fit enough to win on this sort of ground?
He seems to like this ground. As you know, Mr. Pipe's horses are usually very fit. We've won this race twice with horses first time out. Strands of Gold was the first time he ran, and Chatham last year. Obviously, it's an added disadvantage that he only had the 2 runs last year, but he has had a very secret racecourse gallop at Cheltenham in a celebrity race, and that he didn't seem to blow at all that day. So you know, it's not like he's coming to the racecourse for the first time this season.
He's won 4 times at Newbury. What is it about the place that seems to suit him?
Well, Newbury is a big galloping track, and it's left-handed. He jumps left-handed, and the combination of the two help him. You know, if you're going round Sandown or somewhere, he'd be losing ground, whereas here he's not losing any ground, and the fact that it's a big galloping track suits his big galloping action.
So you're hopeful?
Very hopeful, yes.
Yes, Chatham is a lovely horse. He's excitable. He has to go this way round. Once he was running on right-handed courses, he was pretty diabolical. He used to run right across his obstacles. But he's a high-class horse, and even though he's got 11.4, a long way up from last year, the horse is a good horse. And they're talking in terms of Gold Cups for this one, so I think he's got every chance here.
Fences to the left, but not as much as Burgoyne ran left in the last race, and we've just had the outcome of the steward's inquiry, and the objection to the winner is sustained. So the result now is Tyrone Bridge, the new winner, completing a double for Richard Dunwoody. Tyrone Bridge at 6-1. Second now Burgoyne 11-4. Third, Ambuscade 7-1, and the sad outcome for Lorcan is that he has been suspended 4 days for careless riding.
Big crowd here, but one person not here is Paul Green, who owns Tyrone Bridge. He's got a heavy cold, and he'll be at home. That'll be good news for him. Well, the new stand here is some terrific viewing right up high there. Marvellous. In fact, a totally different view of Newbury Racecourse for those fortunate enough to be able to get up to the top tier. Now, as the runners are exiting the course, they've all got themselves into order for the parade here. It's a thing that the spectators, and they're a very sporting crowd at Newbury, they support the meetings here through thick and thin. They love to see these parades, and no better horse than Red Rum. Would it not have been marvellous if Desert Orchid had been here, of course, but Red Rum is a great hero. Doesn't he look well? Remember, it was only a year ago that this horse was at death's door from a very similar thing indeed, an internal blockage which really put him back, but he's as perky as ever. You can expect him, the moment he hits that turf, to start going sideways, and he, as we've seen him at Aintree so often, he loves to buck and kick. Just protecting the flat course there with some green carpet. Mustn't interfere with what might happen later on next summer, but the runners have to get over to the jump course there. So Red Rum leading out from the fellow, French horse trained by Francois Dumas, the colours of Marchesa de Mortalla, who has many good horses trained in this country as well. Adam Condrat has the ride. Twin Oaks loves the ground, but he loves Haydock. He's no stranger to winning at other courses either. 10-1 shot, Neil Doughty on board. And Chatham, he has or used to have a cross noseband. He's just got a drop noseband now to keep his mouth shut. Pulls very hard. Skewell want to settle him. And the giant of the party, Party Politics by Politico, Mrs. David Thompson's colours, and he's been in training a fair while. He's ready for his seasonal debut. Sparkling Flame, former top novice horse, well, struggling to regain his form, but if he does, he'll put that, pulled up last time, way in the shadow. And not very big behind him, Captain Dibble. He hails from the all-conquering Twiston Davis stable. Carlo Ellen on board, a winner last time out. Much bigger now, Jadami, Mark Dwyer on board. Mark, who's riding an excellent fettle again. One of those who hasn't gone over to the plastic boots, good leather boots. Lovely jumper this. Mark's first season on board. Number 8, Bishop's Hall from Ireland. Harry de Bromhead was going to drive this fellow over in his trailer, but the Irish seas were so rough they decided to fly him. 20-1 from 16s. That is Bishop's Hall. And Richard Dunwoody's ride, Gambling Royal. Can he go for a big treble here? Graham Roach is only used to train, gave up his permit and has them with David Nicholson now. Rowlandson's Jewels, no stranger to the winner's enclosure and always knocking on the door in biggish races. Is he good enough for this? His price says not. Dean Gallagher rides. Latent Talent will follow him. The colours of Christopher Heath, Simon Sherwood trained, Jamie Osborne on board. Jamie, his last Mount Nomadic Way, distressed after the race. The vets have looked at him. Mr. Boston, this one trained by Dick Woodhouse on his far side there. A horse that stays forever. Just look away at the handicap and hasn't got a turn of speed. 50s from 33s. And one more to go. Symptom Abbey. Adrian Maguire rides. He's a course winner. Over 3 miles and half a furlong. 2 furlongs extra to go today. Ferdy Murphy trains the well-known colours of Jeff Hubbard. He's won 2 of his 4 so far this season. So the runners turning now. They'll canter back past the stands and start on the far side of the course at the entrance to the back straight. Very exciting race, a race that all jockeys want to win, and there have been some very good horses. It started in 57 with Mandarin winning under Jerry Madden, then Taxidermist gained another Football One horse. But there is the Fellow, a horse that was his participation was in question because of the weather, but he has won on heavy, and he's won a lot of races in Auteuil, and the ground there, you know, gets fairly deep. Party Politics having his first run of the season. He was second, as we showed you just now, in this race 12 months ago. And he's had a succession of jockeys going to ride him. Carl Llewellyn originally was going to ride him, and he opted to sit on Captain Dibble. He gets a lot of rides for Nigel Twiston-Davies. Graham McCourt was going to ride. He opted to go to Newcastle, and Richard Dunwoody was mentioned in dispatches. So in the end, Party Politics ridden by Declan Murphy, and he'll give the horse as good a ride as anyone. Well, another big horse in the race is Jadami. The only time this horse jumped really badly was on firm ground at Ascot, and that time behind Danny Harold. Well, Jadami's new jockey this season, taking over from Patrick Farrell, is Mark Dwyer. And a little while ago, Julian spoke to the jockey.
Mark, what sort of feel did this horse give you at Haydock?
I was delighted with him, really. I mean, I'd done a fair bit of work with him at home beforehand, and everyone concerned felt that he would need the run. And it turned out that way, but through the race we were very, very happy with him. He jumped quite well and raced well to the last, and he just got done out of the run-in through lack of a race, I feel.
He's only a second season steeplechaser. Has he got enough experience to win a Hennessy?
I think so. I mean, he's ran 6-time over fences last year. He ran the competitive handicap at Punchestown and ran very, very well with top weight. And the way he operated away around Haydock, you know, there was only a few runners, but I was always beside run for free, and I felt he jumped very, very well.
You've had an up and down week, notably down on Uncle Ernie. You've had a few knocks. Are you 100% fit?
Yes, I feel fine now. It was a bit unfortunate week. It had to happen this week, of all weeks. But Uncle Ernie was just a bit ribby after that, and then I had a fair fall at Nottingham afterwards. But fortunately the ribs survived that. It was a bit sore of a shoulder and a leg, but no problems now.
And even more money coming for him. You see he's 3-1 now from 7-2, and he was 4-1 not long ago, so that's where the money is. But I must say, I thought in the paddock he looked fairly burly, but he's probably a horse that carries a lot of condition. Just look at him. Reminds me of Borough Hill Lad when I see him. They're very much on his toes, big, strong, and a horse that is going to command a lot of credit here. But on his first run of the season, which he just about needed, he was second to another pipe horse, Run for Free, who is no mug in his own right. That was at Haydock in soft ground. I just wonder, will he just need another race to win a race of this description? They don't take many prisoners in this ground around Newbury in the Hennessy. They won't be hanging around. And the Fellow, Marquesa de Mortallo's colours, Francois Dumas, the horse that won last time out. He's coming back over for the King George, and he's also going to go back at the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Now, Francois said that it doesn't get as heavy as this horse dislikes here at Newbury, and it is only soft ground. But a horse will need to go through it in order to survive over this trip. 5-1 from 11-2. Adam Condrat, who gets on with his horse very, very well. He needs to come from off the pace a bit. Quite a few of the fancied runners do here today. So you can expect the Fellow, who's on 11-13, and Chatham to be creeping up the inside there after the leaders start to falter. Let's have a look at the market.
This was Jadami, 3-1, the favourite still, and the Captain Dibble, second favourite at 7-2 from fours. Chatham, that hasn't moved since it went to 9-2. The Fellow is 5-1, 11-2. Gambling Royal, 6-1, that's dropped half a point. Twin Oaks, 10-1, the same price as Party Politics. And Leighton Talent hasn't moved on 12-1. Bishop's Hall is 20-1, 50-1 bar.
Little Captain Dibble, of course, the winner of the Scottish National, and Nigel Twiston-Davies having tremendous time. Got the Mackerson in his pocket. He's flying up there, third in the trainer's table. This would put him bang up there in the lead. 7-2 from 4-1, a horse that will stay forever this trip and even further. Just hope he gets a good clear sight of his fence. He's very, very tough, keeps running this one. Gambling Royale, a horse that fell last time out last season, but generally he actually jumps well. You'll have seen him at Cheltenham in March. He was third in the Ritz there to Tipping Tim and Henry Mann. Pretty good run that. Rowlandson's Jules was back in 8th place, and Rowlandson is the best turned out for this race. Peter.
They've been called in. And Party Politics turns, otherwise they look like going first time. Several appeals to the starter. Told to keep the heads back off the tape.
Taking a turn, sir. No, sir, no, I'm going back.
Several of them taking a turn now. This looks more like it. And they're away. Latent Talent and Sipton Abbey, two of the first to show as they race towards the first of the 21 fences. Sipton Abbey on the inside, Twin Oaks goes up on the outer, Latent Talent is third, and they're all safely over the first, with Bishop's Hall jumping a little bit slowly in rear. Party Politics going up on the outside now as they come to the first ditch to dispute it with Twin Oaks and Latent Talent and Sipton Abbey. Then comes Rowlandson's Jules and Gambling Royal. Bishop's Hall jumped it in rear. Party Politics, the giant Party Politics in the lead. They're all safely over that first ditch and coming to another plain fence. This is the third. Party Politics lands in the lead from Twin Oaks. Latent Talent on the inside. Rowlandson's Jules comes next. Then Sipton Abbey and Gambling Royal. Jadami up there on the outside, and then Mr. Boston. Then comes the Fellow is on the outside too, just in behind Jadami. That was the fourth, and all safely over that one. Now coming to the last on the far side on this first circuit, number 5, with Party Politics the leader from Twin Oaks, Latent Talent, Rowlandson's Jules, Sipton Abbey just in behind them, the Fellow on the outside with Jadami. Then over on the far side, Chatham, who's sticking to the inner under Peter Scudamore, and who's being followed by Sparkling Flame. Bishop's Hall still one of the back markers with Captain Dibble also, and the leader still Party Politics as they swing left-handed and make their way towards the cross fence. Twin Oaks is second, then comes Latent Talent and Sipton Abbey and Rowlandson's Jules. Number 6, this cross fence. Party Politics lobbing along in the lead here, this giant horse, by about 3 lengths from Twin Oaks. He jumps it brilliantly, the leader. Sipton Abbey jumped it third, just ahead of Latent Talent, Gambling Royal, Rowlandson's Jules, and behind them Chatham and Jodami, and then comes the Fellow. And still Captain Dibble and Bishop's Hall are the two in rear as they turn into the home straight on the first circuit. Another plain one now before the second of the ditches. And Party Politics in the lead from the veteran Twin Oaks, who's being followed by Sipton Abbey, Latent Talent, Rowlandson's Jules. That was the 7th. And they all jumped the 7th well. Now coming to the second of the ditches with Party Politics clear of his field. Twin Oaks jumps it second. Sipton Abbey jumped it third. 4, Latent Talent over on the far side. Then Gambling Royal and Jadami and Rowlandson's Jules. Rowlandson's Jules being followed by the Fellow, the top weight. And their Party Politics, the leader over that one. From Twin Oaks, Sipton Abbey. Latent Talent over on the far side. Jadami, Rowlandson's Jules. Gambling Royal coming to the 10th now. Party Politics by about 3 from Twin Oaks, who's about 4 up on Sipton Abbey. Then comes Jodami travelling well on the far side, Latent Talent. Then Gambling Royal. Then the Fellow improving a little bit towards the outside as they come down now to the water for the only time. And at the water, Party Politics jumps it clear, a giant leap too, raises a gasp from the crowd, an enormous leap by this giant horse. He's about 5 clear now as he goes out onto the second circuit of Twin Oaks, the old horse. Then on Twin Oaks, following Twin Oaks is Sipton Abbey. Jodami well there too as they race right over the far side. And Captain Dibble has made good progress as well, just in behind the leaders. But Party Politics still by about 4 lengths as they come to the first in the backstretch, 12th of the 21 fences. Party Politics from Twin Oaks, Sipton Abbey, Jodami, Gambling Royal, Captain Dibble and Leighton Talent. Then Rowlandson's Jewels and the Fellow with Chatham on the inside. They're coming to the third ditch now. Party Politics clear of Twin Oaks, Sipton Abbey, Gambling Royal, Leighton Talent on the inside, Jadami. The Fellow making a little bit of progress on the outside of Bishop's Hall. Then Captain Dibble with Chatham on the inside and still going well over the 14th. And Twin Oaks made a mistake there. He got away with it. Chatham made a little bit of mistake and he didn't get away with it so well. He's lost about 3 places. Coming to the next, 7 left to jump, and it's Party Politics still in the lead from Twin Oaks, Sipton Abbey, Jodami on the outside. Then comes Gambling Royal, a blunder there by Bishop's Hall. 6 from home, right over on the far side now. Party Politics is going to jump it clear of Twin Oaks, then Sipton Abbey. Then Leighton Talent, the Fellow making progress. Gambling Royal also. Jadami comes next and still travelling well. They're beginning to swing left-handed now out of the backstretch. And Party Politics and Twin Oaks. Twin Oaks going up almost to join Party Politics. Then comes Sipton Abbey. Then Leighton Talent on the inside and Gambling Royal. The Fellow, the top weight, still travelling well under his big weight. They're coming towards the cross fence now. 5 from home. And as they do so, it's Party Politics and Twin Oaks. Twin Oaks has just taken it up now as they come to this 5th from home. Sipton Abbey is challenging him on the outside. Then comes Gambling Royal. Behind Gambling Royal is Jodami, then Bishop's Hall, and then Chatham, and then the Fellow. Racing round the home turn now, and it's Twin Oaks from Sipton Abbey and Gambling Royal with Richard Dunwoody bidding for a hat-trick on this one. Then on the outside is Bishop's Hall, who's still well in contention. Behind them come Jodami and then the Fellow. Coming down towards the next fence, this is 4 from home. And Sipton Abbey landed in the lead there from Gambling Royal. Then comes Jodami travelling smoothly towards the stand side. Chatham getting back there over on the far side. This is the final ditch, 3 out. Sipton Abbey and Jodami. Jodami on the near side. Sipton Abbey on the far side. Then Gambling Royal. Then Chatham, who's still there. Then quite a gap then to the top weight, the Fellow. Jodami's going to land in the lead here from Sipton Abbey. It's these 2 now, and it's Mark Dwyer on Jodami, the leader. Mark Dwyer on Jodami from Sipton Abbey. Adrian Maguire, these 2, very little between them now. Then comes Chatham, behind Chatham is Gambling Royal, and then comes the Fellow. Jodami landed in the lead there from Sipton Abbey. Jodami on the near side, Sipton Abbey on the far side. They've got 200 yards to run. Sipton Abbey on the far side now from Jodami as they race up towards the line. Adrian McGrath and Mark Dwyer is going to be close. Sipton Abbey going away now from Jodami. Sipton Abbey's going to win it. Sipton Abbey wins it. Jodami is second. The Fellow runs on tremendously to be third. 4 is Chatham. 5 is Gambling Royal. 6 is Rowlandson's Jewels. 7 is Captain Dibble. And then behind them came the old-timer Twin Oaks, and several of them pulled up, and those include Bishop's Hall, Party Politics, the long-time leader, Mr. Boston, and Leighton Talent. But the result, an amazing triumph this for a horse who was so far out of the handicap. Sipton Abbey, a 40-to-1 chance, wins it for Mr. Jeff Hubbard, trained by Ferdy Murphy, ridden by Adrian Maguire. Second was number 7, Jodami, owned by Mr. J.N. Yeadon, trained by Peter Beaumont and ridden by Mark Dwyer. Third was number 1, The Fellow, owned by the Marchesa de Morataya, trained by Francois Dumaine and ridden by Adam Conrad. And fourth was number 3, Chatham.
13 runners, number 13 on the card. Unlucky for the back of the favourite, who must have been counting their money here, because at the third last, Sipton Abbey, having moved into the lead, taken the lead from Twin Oaks, was galloping strongly in front, but Jodami going so well in third place there. Chatham, who'd sneaked through on the inside despite mistakes at the 14th fence and the cross fence. They're really on sufferance. And Richard Dunwoody, the other one in contention there, and Gambling Royal. At the second last, it's a 4-horse race. Sipton Abbey is still in front, the bottom weight, out of the handicap. Jodami on this side. Chatham pitches a little bit on landing. Gambling Royal starting to get tired. Back in 5th place is the Fellow, who ran a marvellous race for 2.5 miles. And coming down to the last, it still looked as though Mark Dwyer could take take Adrian Maguire on Sipton Abbey. But as Richard said beforehand, he's a big gross horse. I wonder if he still needed it. At the last, a marvellous jump from Jadami. He's absolutely flown it, but Adrian Maguire's got a good jump out of Sipton Abbey as well, and the two of them come away from the fence together. Adrian Maguire with his whip in his left hand. Mark Dwyer goes for his whip later than his rival. The two of them draw clear, half a length clear. How difficult he is to beat this young man, Adrian Maguire. Puts his whip down there, pulls it through to his right hand, and Jadami, who can't find any more resources this second run of the season, looked in terrific shape, but just the last 2 furlongs of the race has found him out. And Adrian Maguire drives the bottom weight, the 40-to-1 shot Sipton Abbey, to a dramatic win by about 3 parts of a length in the 36th running of the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. He's won the Gold Cup, Adrian Maguire, and now he's won his first Hennessy. What a great talent this young man is.
So Adrian, on his 41st winner of the season, returning on what is the outstandingly the longest price winner ever in this 36th running of the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. Outstandingly the biggest shot this race has ever produced. He was no less than 21 pounds out of the handicap. Sir Jeff Hubbard there greeting his winner. And what a sporting gesture even to run, because the handicapper said he had not got a prayer. As I say, 40-to-1, here are the full starting prices.
Yes, number 13, Sipton